In this video, we're gonna start from basics, mobility and stability training, phase 1. After that, we're going to move on to learn the 5 basic movement patterns that we should be using every day. So that way you'll feel, you'll perform, and you'll even look better. So why start here? The way society is now, we decrease the level of our activity, which in turn makes our muscles imbalanced and gives us bad posture. And we get these from sitting too much, old injuries, performing the same movements over and over again, side dominance, our work environment, improper training programs, pathologies like arthritis, and so much more. All this changes the way our body moves and puts pressure on our joints. It's a kinetic chain that moves all through your body. And where we lack movement, we tend to take away from another area to make up for that movement. So for example, if someone has limited mobility in their shoulders, they will compensate, so add movement, take away from somewhere else, from the scapula to achieve that full range of motion. And these imbalances go on into our daily activities, like picking something off the floor, going upstairs, and could potentially actually get worse. Look around you, you might see some people with their head slouched, tilted forward, their shoulders caving in, and their back hunched, so they're looking like this. That's imbalance right there. That's where the front muscles are dominating the opposing back muscles. Or watch how people walk with their legs pointed outward, shoes all worn out unevenly. Some might think that stability doesn't have to do much with working out, unless they're performing a sport or an intense activity. But the thing is, with movement, we're creating force. And to do this, we need something stable to move from. And on top of that, we're actually hit with external loads like gravity pushing down on it. All of this moves through the body's kinetic chain. So let's take a look at the kinetic chain. Remember how we talked about compensating or adding movement from our shoulder example? As you can see, if one of the mobile parts is stuck, in our example the shoulder, then we will get movement for the next thing in the kinetic chain, and that is your scapula, aka your shoulder blades. The scapula can either perform properly and stay stable, and the movement will go through the chain onto the next part, in this case the thoracic, or the scapula will perform improperly and become mobile. So to fix this, we're gonna go over different stretches we can do to bring back mobility where it needs to be. I'll put all the charts you'll see in this video in the download section so you can use them at home or at the gym. It is worth noting here before we start, there is an order we need to follow. We need to start at our center of gravity and work our way outward. When we tried to improve mobility at a distant joint like our arms without having the stability or foundation set up at our core, then it can mess up any existing stability that we already have. The order will go like this. Number 1, core. Activate the core to stabilize our lumbar spine, aka our lower spine. 2, mobilize pelvic and thoracic spine. 3, stabilize scapula and mobilize your glenohumeroid joint, aka your shoulder. Number 4, mobilize and stabilize extremities within, like your arms and your legs. And 5, sectional or segmental stabilization. Now that you know the order, let's go over the different stretches to bring back mobilization. Myofascial release. This one is used with the foam roller. There's different types of rollers. There's also rolling wheels, a different size ball you can use, and many more. While laying on the roller, use small back and forth movements, rolling slowly on and off tender areas for about 30 seconds to a minute. Work your way into the tender area slowly at your own rate, like you're rolling out dough. You can use this for just about any muscle. Sometimes I even use the edge of a wall for my back, holding pressure in real tight spots. Static stretching. This is the most common one that people do, but do not hold for long enough. How to stretch the muscle to the point of tension. You'll want it a little bit uncomfortable, but not painful. Hold this position for 15 seconds to 1 minute. This lets the muscle spindle fibers relax and stop contracting against the stretch, so that you actually get a stretch. The spindle fibers detect change in length of our muscle and protect us from overextending with quick movements that can cause us to get hurt, like in sports. Proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, PNF. This can be done assisted or by yourself. How to? Just like the static stretch, you'll want to stretch the muscle to the point of tension. Hold it there for 10 to 30 seconds. After holding the stretch for that long, then you want to contract your muscle and go against the force. Kind of like a tug of war, but pushing against each other. Keep pushing the muscle or contracting it for 6 seconds. Then you relax the muscle again and go back into the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds again and repeat. You'll want to push the stretch a little bit more each time. Active isolation stretch, AIS. This one is done by using the opposite muscle to help stretch. How to? To stretch, you can use a wall, bands, partner, or by yourself. In this example, I'll use a wall to stretch the chest. As you get into the stretch, you will use the opposite muscle, in this example the back, and contract the muscle for 2 to 4 seconds. Relax back to the neutral position and repeat 8 to 10 times. Dynamic stretching. You see this a lot in boxing, baseball, and a lot of sports. It's moving through the range of motions you're about to do. Depending on the muscles you'll activate is the stretch you'll do. You can use no weights like arm circles, squats, lunges, etc. Or relatively lightweight with bands or dumbbells or body weight. How to? If you're about to bench, do push-up motions or movements that target the muscles you're about to use. Triceps, shoulders, chest for bench. Using lightweight or no weight at all. Ballistic stretching. Please note that this stretch has a higher risk of injury. Usually used in sports like gymnastics or kickboxing. Think of any sport that uses a quick motion. How to? Do this only when the muscles are warmed up. Go through the motions like kicking, punching, or bouncing when stretching. It's like the dynamic stretch but faster. So that's it for phase 1. We just went over learning the kinetic chain. We went over the different types of stretches to bring back mobility and how muscular imbalances affect us. All of the charts will be available for download for free, link in the description. If you want to learn more about building muscle and training properly and seeing part 2 of this video, check out our next level muscle class. Link will be in the description below.